this is the scene between Carlton Avenue and Carlton Road following a high-speed chase that ended in a crash. It's just covered in thick layers of ice here. You can see just how slippery it is. You wouldn't want to walk across this. Again, this all stems from the arrest of former counselor Michael Sweeney. He's facing 11 counts of child sex crimes, and parents here tonight want answers. You can find your next apartment or house with just a few clicks on your phone. But police say that convenience also makes it easier for scammers to post fake listings online. We're following up on a house explosion on Ferndown Lane, and neighbors are saying it's nothing like they've ever seen before. There's tons of debris and insulation floating around in the air. President Trump's arrival here in Charlottesville has actually stirred up quite the commotion. Now at 3:06, students got their run, hide, fight alert, and the corner became a ghost town.
Jadyn, how's it looking out there for you?
I mean, first, how is it feeling out here? It is cold, cold, cold. One of the many open houses and town halls hosted by Valley Link these past couple of months for the proposed 115 miles, 765 kilovolt transmission line stretching through central Virginia. And it wasn't just housing advocates or Charlottesville residents themselves speaking out, but also UVA students, who this housing is supposedly for. So I had a bit of an outfit change. I'm in the back of this armored police vehicle, but it's not what you think. It's National Night Out. Really a party here for the 28th annual Grand Illumination. You can see Santa Claus here taking pictures with kids. There's a bounce house and plenty of performances. It's a museum on wheels. VA 250 has been on the road all throughout the Commonwealth with their mobile museum. And well, now it's parked right here on the downtown mall. And that's to celebrate all the history that went into the creation of our nation.
And we made it through in one piece, I think.
Come out here tomorrow or Sunday to have a grand slam time. Live in Charlottesville, Jadyn Howard, CBS 19 News.
Go Who's!
Live on grounds, Jadyn Howard, CBS 19 News.
You know, I'm 60 years old almost, so I'm down the downside of my life. But my kids aren't. They're on the peak and rising. With my grandkids, their future's here, It just scares me.
Meet Daryl Wheaton, Fluvanna resident for 52 years and lives at his house 2 miles from the current Tenaska plant with his wife.
We have a lot of concerns about the new plant and the increase in their production. And then not only do you have the new plant that you're looking at 1.5 times, but you still have the old plant there.
He's fighting 2 battles, one being this second proposed plant and another being cancer. It's a rare form near the liver and pancreas. He says he has no idea where it's come from.
They did some testing. Those weren't linked to any types of genetic mutations on his side. So we are assuming that it could just be a random thing, but it could also be environmental.
You'll remember a recent Harvard study found that this plant would emit harmful amounts of particulate matter. But Tenaska says that's not the case.
We wanted to address this report, which is based on policy bias instead of rigorous scientific analysis. This is based on the report using non-standard models and methodologies. It uses improper and impossibly low concentrations instead of those that have been approved by the DEQ and the EPA.
Outside of health concerns, Wheaton says he stays in Fluvanna for the peace and quiet, but it's been the opposite.
The rumble, when it does discharge, sometimes makes enough noise to where that it makes our dogs go off. And a lot of times at first it was just in the middle of the night. And 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, you have your dogs barking.
And you can see just how high these flumes are in these sunset pictures of where they keep their horses. Now, Tenaska sent out what they call a good neighbor letter, financially compensating for any disruption in residents' day-to-day lives. It's for $30,000 over 4 years if the plant is built.
I could care less how much they offer me. They could offer me millions, and I still wouldn't change my disposition on this cause, because it doesn't, money can't buy my family's lives back or my life back.
When we have the opportunity to make a change at home in our state, we will take it.
The Spanberger for Virginia rally was a highly anticipated one. She brought out former U.S. Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg.
And going to the polls is an act of hope, the kind of hope that captures what it means to be an American, that vindicates the central premise of our founding, which is that everyday life is better in a country where the people get to tell the government what to do instead of the other way around.
And Bill Nye the Science Guy to help spread the word to over 1,300 people.
She wants to keep those kids in schools that are first-class schools so that Virginia can lead the world. Now, some may describe her as a moderate. I describe her as someone who is paying attention.
It was a packed house at the Jefferson Theater, and with 2 weeks left ahead of Election Day, Abigail Spanberger used tonight as a look ahead for her plan if she were to be elected as the Commonwealth's next governor.
We are for a governor focused relentlessly on lowering costs in housing, healthcare, and energy, recognizing that there are a lot of challenges facing people in every corner of Virginia.
And attendees are in full support.
Definitely a lot of concerns about education policy, particularly the school board. I'm with Fairfax County, where I went to high school. There's been a lot of conflicts with the Youngkin administration, and I'm hoping a lot of that will be eased up.
And I'm excited because we're going to have a new governor, female governor, for a change.
In Charlottesville, Jadyn.a.howard, CBS 19 News.
And we don't want to see that giant, ugly tower just ruining everything.
He's referring to a proposed 115-mile, 765-kilovolt power line that would stretch across several counties in central Virginia, including Orange County.
This is my property. They want to run these lines here. Okay? They're destroying beautiful Virginia. They're destroying everything. It's evil and wrong, and they're trying to use eminent domain to take our land in this county, and we have no say in it.
The forum was to hear residents' concerns about the proposed line. Valley Link says they know a project like this won't make everybody happy, but they say they're trying to limit the impact as much as possible.
Minimize crossing through dense residential areas. A number of times we pass right over a school. We look at rivers, streams, lakes. Some of these crossings are inevitable.
The proposed transmission line is meant to help meet growing energy demand across the state. But what's driving that need?
Data centers are part of it. But also part of it is population growth, business and heavy industry growth.
For some residents, power is not their top concern. A farmer whose family has lived in the area for generations says he's worried about what could happen if the line runs across his farmland.
If it's coming through the middle of a farm, what kind of construction issues are going on, what's the kind of land use stuff. These are pretty high voltage lines, as I understand.
Valley Link says you can think of the line kind of like a highway for power, helping move that energy where it's needed most.
There will be co-ops that benefit from this project, but then also, this is going to connect in Campbell County to other utilities, and then up in Culpeper to other lines that will subsequently connect to other utilities.
They say they'll continue meeting with residents across central Virginia as the project moves forward.